Well, this is going to be a fun one tonight because the kids are in bed. The house is quiet. It's 11:15 at night. I should also be in bed, but I have got to tell you what I did today. I had to get on the mic whilst it's all fresh in my mind and let you know what I did. If you're interested. I went to Thorpe Park. No, I didn't. I literally didn't. Where did that come from, Dan? I went to Alton Towers. I am knackered. I am so tired. Thorpe Park. Yeah, I went to Thorpe Park. Went to Thorpe Park in October, you dick. Right. Try that again. I went to Alton Towers today with... What was that? I went to Alton Towers today. I went to Alton Towers. It was bloody lovely. Right. I went to Alton Towers today with my wife and two of my friends, and we live 3 hours away from it. So we got up at 5:30 this morning, and I am knackered, as you can obviously tell. But we got there at 10 o'clock, which was late in my book. If you're not there 15 minutes before, then you're late. It opens at 10 o'clock, by the way. But I'm there thinking there's going to be so many people at the entrance. It's a 20-minute walk from the car park to the entrance, by the way. And I'm like, the day's ruined. Day is bloody ruined. Wasn't. Absolutely not. Because when we booked the day a couple of months ago, we looked at the calendar and we're like, right, when is it going to be most busy? Obviously, bank holidays, half terms, and May is full of them. Now, I'm not saying only go in May and on the day that I went, but this applies every week, I believe. We went on a Thursday the 8th of May, and I just bit my tongue. Ow. God's sake. What's the matter with me? I must go to bed. Just spilled water down my top. For Christ's sake. Where was I? Yeah. We went on the 8th of May, which is a Thursday, and it worked out perfectly. So May, if you don't know, is full of bank holidays and a half term. So we picked this day because it's during school term, so all of the school kids will be in school unless they're on a school trip. Most people are going to be working and waiting to go to Alton Towers during these holiday breaks. So we all booked the day off work in advance, and here we are. We're at the entrance, and we get from the bag check to the other side of the turnstiles literally within probably 45 seconds. It was glorious. And now you're in the park. And if you haven't been before, let me tell you, it's huge. You're welcomed by this grand entrance area with shops on the left and right. We went straight past that, didn't even look up at them. And we are beelining to the Smiler, which is at the far right of the park as you go in. But on the way there, we saw the Pinball Wizard ride. Now, we didn't even consider this to be like a major ride at all. We just wanted to go straight onto the Smiler because we wanted to get there before any of the queues built right up. We wanted to get there early. But we looked on the app, and all of the rides had a 5-minute wait only. When we went to Thorpe Park back in October, they were the smallest queue was like 25 minutes, and it went all the way up to like 2 hours or 3 hours. It was not good, and that was on a weekend in October. So 5 minutes on every ride is what we're saying. Before I go any further, I know it's pretty obvious, but this podcast and everything I'm doing right now is in no way, shape or form sponsored or an ad for Alton Towers. I literally went today. This is my opinion and my experience of today, and I want to put it into a podcast. Just want to get that crap out of the way. Let's continue. So, Pinball Wizard's there, and there's literally like 6 people in the queue that we can see. And Pinball Wizard is kind of like a kid's ride. I call it that because it doesn't have loops and it's not crazy to look at. But the cart has 4 seats. You have 2 at the front, 2 at the back. And the ones at the back are facing backwards. And it's on a turntable. So as you're going up and down and around and all this, you're also spinning. But not crazy amounts. Like, I would be sick. I hate that stuff. But enough to, like, get the 360 view wet, like, constantly. And it turned out to be such a perfect ride to start the day. Because we're all kind of tired. We're excited, but we haven't experienced that first roller coaster yet. And it's a perfect one, as it's a couple of minute walk from when you first arrive, just to get that adrenaline going. It's not a scary one or anything like that, and it's worked out perfectly. So it shakes you up, wakes you up, nothing too crazy, but it sets the tone for the rest of the day. Now we walk 5 minutes, or wherever it is, to the back right of the park to the Smiler. Wow, I don't even know how much to say about this before boring everyone, but what a ride. It's probably my favourite roller coaster I've ever been on. But that's like such like an opinion thing, obviously, because some people prefer ones that go super high and without loops, or like go super fast or whatever. I like the loops and the spins and all that and the drops. So it was kind of perfect. And it goes on for 265 seconds. Hey, it's Dan here, and I'm just going through this podcast before uploading, and I don't like to have to edit or input anything from my podcast because I want it to just be raw and unfiltered. I just wanted to state that I got this bit wrong, so it doesn't make any sense, but it's 165 seconds, not 265 seconds. Now that's cleared up, enjoy the rest. Quick maths, I think that's 2.5 minutes. Around that. I hope it is. I'm too tired to even bother working it out. Jeez, I need to go to bed. If you haven't been on the Smiler before, it has 14 loops. 14 loops. I don't even know how to put it into words. It's mayhem. But yeah, you start off and you immediately do like a little spin and all this, and you go up to the top, and then it drops you round, and it's amazing. I'm laughing my head off. My eyes are streaming, loving it. And then you get halfway through and you stop before going up a 90-degree rise. What's it called? A tower? You know what I mean. When a roller coaster just goes up to the top, but it's like full 90 degrees, maybe even going even like further back on yourself. It was steep. A steep summit? No. Anyway, gonna be all night thinking about what that word is, and it's gonna annoy me. But yeah, then you've got another minute or so to get to getting you to the end of the ride, and that second half of the ride was incredible. There's like such a lot of air time, so you go up and back down really quick, and it lifts you up, and if you feel like you're floating for a second, and then it pulls you back down. Yeah, absolutely incredible. All 4 of us, my 2 friends and my wife and myself, all of us streaming, like crying, laughing, smiling. That is why it's called the Smiler. Came off of it absolutely buzzing, and maybe, and most likely, considering how I've sounded on this podcast so far, a bit concussed. But let's move on. After that, we went on Oblivion. That slow climb and then vertical drop straight into the void. Every time it gets me, honestly. I was there saying to one of my friends, he's never been there before, and I was saying, yeah, we've got to go on it. It's one of the oldest rides here, and it's famous. You have to go on Oblivion. But I just warn you, I think it's way overrated. It's a very, very short ride. You're literally on it, I don't know, Once you get to the top and go around, it's like a minute max from the start to the end. But that drop, I was actually saying to everyone in the queue, I was like, they should like double the height of that drop to make it way bigger, forgetting how far it actually goes into the ground. So it goes through a hole in the floor, and so when we actually dropped, it felt like you're falling for about 20 seconds. It wasn't 20 seconds, but it felt like that. It was class. I actually really enjoyed it today. It is one of those rides like you're not going to bother queuing up to go back on it again, but we queued for about 5 minutes to get on it. Yeah. After Oblivion, this ride was hilarious. We went to 13. It looks tame, and then when you think the ride's ended, it's like a runaway train, but really quick, and you're like, oh, this is fun. You're not like holding on to anything, but then you go into this, like you're in the woods, but you go into this big shed, big building thing. I can't remember what it is, and if you're at the front, you can see like this, like statue or whatever of like a creepy little girl. But we couldn't see it. I've just seen it when I went on it years ago. So it's like meant to be all scary and all this. And then the lights go out. But just before this, I'm sat with one of my friends in one cart, and I lean over the back to the back, turned behind me, and I spoke to Sarah and my other friend, and my other friend had never been on it before, didn't know what was coming. This isn't good, he says. And I say, wait for it. And he goes, why? And the lights go out. And I think simultaneously, as the lights go out, we dropped like 1 foot. And he let out the biggest scream I've ever heard him scream. It was hilarious. So now we're all laughing. He's laughing his head off as well. And then we drop what feels like 10 foot. We drop right down again. And he lets out the biggest scream, and then we're just yanked backwards. The whole train. We call it a train. It's not a train. The whole roller coaster goes backwards now, all through pitch dark that you can't see where you are, what's going on. It was class because it's literally, this isn't very good. Bam, right out of nowhere. Yeah, surprises you. It was it was awesome. And now at like this point, I think it was like only midday. It was like 11:30, 12, and we felt like we've done half of the park already. Like we're buzzing. And then what we should have done was stop for a bit, have a bit of a rest, because our stomachs and internal organs had been spun all over the place, and our heads, we're all dizzy. We thought, let's not do that. Let's go straight to Nemesis Reborn, because the queue was so short. We were like, we've got to go on it just in case it goes big. So we immediately go there, straight on, and we were like 6 rows back. What I will say about Nemesis Reborn is, although it is like a legendary ride at Alton Towers, and it is good, it's not amazing if you're not on the front row. If you're second row or any more, you're just staring at the seat in front of you. So, because you're kind of like sat in a seat which is hanging from above, so below you there's nothing there. All you can see is just a seat in front of you. So you're getting the thrills of all the motion, but you can't see anything. So because the queue was so short, we did it twice. So what's so annoying? There's nobody there, right? And you think, can you just press the green button and send us off again? No. You got to go around the entire 5-minute walk again. And now there's a little bit of a queue. Not that much. But we asked the guy, "Oh, can we go? There's 4 of us. Can we go on the front?" And he said, "There's 1 person on the front, so only 3 of you can, and you can't wait for the next one." I'm like, "There's no one. Why can't we just wait for the next one?" I don't understand why they do that. Makes no sense in my end. Anyway, so one of my friends was like, "Go for it." Well, actually, Sarah said, "You 3 boys just go on the front, and I'll sit here. I don't care. I'm perfectly happy with that." So I was like, "Thanks, love you. See you later." And I'm like running straight to the front. Now, am I the asshole for that? I don't think I am. Definitely not. She said it, and she was perfectly happy with it. But then my other friend goes, No, Sarah, like, you go on the front with Dan." And she's like, "No, honestly, it's fine, but you're in a bit of a rush to get on it." So he's like, No, you go. And then he goes into that one seat on his own. So Sarah comes with me and my other friend. And it was class. It was so good. Like, on the front, it is good. But because we hadn't had a break, like, much at all, we just rode it. It's very, very loud, this one. It's extremely loud, and it's throwing you all over the place. And your senses now, you're starting to hurt. And I come off of this ride, and I'm like, I'm not feeling good. I need a drink now. I haven't had anything to drink for like an hour or 2. I've got the driest mouth. Not to be gross, but when you're feeling sick and your mouth is like thick saliva, and I need to spit, and I'm gonna be sick if I continue doing this madness. My friend that sat on his own was like, "Nah, because I sat on my own, you've all got to go on this with me." Opposite Nemesis Reborn, there's a ride. I'm gonna call it a ride. It was a death trap. I don't know how it's legal, honestly. It's called Toxicator, and spinning, flipping, lights, water. It just felt like a tumble dryer. I don't know how to explain it. So you're spinning on an axle. So you start off, I can't even remember how many seats it is. I think it's like 16 in a row, but on both sides. So you've got 16 and 16. So that's 36, 32. 32. It's definitely. I hope it's 32. So what it immediately does is goes backwards the entire way around. And your own, like, there's, when you go on a roller coaster and you pull the thing over your shoulders, or you pull the thing down into your lap, and they've got the buckle. I love the buckle. Because it just feels safe now, because you're not just relying on the hydraulics, even though the hydraulics are probably 1,000 times stronger than that buckle. This one didn't have a buckle. It just comes over your shoulders and it sits next to your legs, and it dangles you like straight over the water for a good 10 seconds, and you're just praying with everything that the hydraulics have got you. And then it brings you back up, and the entire 32 people on this ridiculous bar, we go around, and the whole arm goes around. I'm explaining this terribly. Just have a look online at Toxicator and you'll see exactly what I'm on about. So it goes all the way around, but then where we're sat, just that little bit, starts spinning like 3.5 times. You cannot see it. It's like you're in a washing machine or a tumble dryer or whatever. It's horrific. And I already felt sick, and I hate those static rides. I like to go on a roller coaster where you move forward and you can do spins and stuff. But as long as you're actually moving, I prefer that to the stationary ones. I was so surprised with how I felt. I actually came off of this ride relieved that I was still alive, but I didn't feel as sick. I just needed that drink desperately. So I was like, cool, I actually feel good. There's a Costa here. There's a coffee shop. So I got myself an iced latte because I thought I can just drink it quick because we're about to go on Galactica, which it used to be called Air if you haven't been in many, many years. Galactica is a ride that me and my friend that has been before, we remembered it as like a glorious roller coaster. Like, it's smooth, it feels like you're flying. It's awesome. So we said, right, we're gonna go to Galactica, but let's just have a coffee and a water. I bought this iced latte, and I'm necking it now because there's no queue. So I drank like 3/4 of it. Sarah didn't want any, nobody wanted any, so I binned the rest of it. But then we're waiting a little bit, and I'm like, got like taste of coffee, and really all I needed was a water. So I had like half of my bottle of water, not even slightly thinking I'm about to go onto a roller coaster, because I'm like, this is going to be a glorious one. I've never felt so sick on a ride. So you're face down, you're in a flying position. I say that lightly. You are in the position, a very vulnerable position. Again, go on the internet and have a look at this one. It lifts you up, so you're like ass is in the air, face down, and you're stuck there. Then you're completely out of control of your body and what's going to happen to you. Yeah, it's not that comfortable. It's not as comfortable as I remembered it being. But yeah, you're in the flying position, and it's supposed to be smooth and relaxing. My body said, not a chance. I felt sick. I felt so sick. Like, I actually had to slow down. And I had to admit that I had hit my limit. And I was like, guys, let's stop. Actually, I just remembered the thing that made me feel the worst is because in the last 10 seconds of the ride, I'm there thinking, please be the end now, because I am not enjoying this. If one more turn, one more backflip or whatever, or barrel roll, I might actually be sick. I feel awful. And you come into like the landing, whatever it's called, like the end, and there's you're staring at the pavement now, not where you can walk, but like, yeah, just where the ride ends. And there is a pool, a splatter of vomit on the floor, and countless puddles of spit. I had to immediately close my eyes because if I kept looking at it, my sick would have joined the group on the floor. Yeah, I would have thrown up all over it. It was foul. Oh, that was the worst moment of the day for me. That was the first moment. Like, I am going to actually be sick, but I wasn't. So I had my 5 minutes breather after that. I was like, let's just stop. Let's stop, and we'll go get food. We need actual food. So that was the plan. Let's get on a cable car and go get some food. Is that what we did? Absolutely not. We found Nemesis Sub Terra. I had no idea what this was. None of us had a clue what this was. This one, there's going to be a spoiler in this. I don't want to give this away. If you're going to go and ride this, I want you to skip like 30 seconds. I'll tell you when to skip, okay? Because that's when the spoiler's going to be. But if you've been on before or you don't care, continue listening. So we spotted the ride. It was the longest queue of the day, and the reason for that is because a group of 20 of you, 30 of you go into this building, and the whole thing takes 10 minutes, but it's such a poor ride. It's not a ride. So basically you go in, you watch a safety briefing on a fake safety briefing of up on the TV of the military found what was it? I can't think what it is. The Nemesis, which is an alien, and it laid its eggs a mile down in the Earth's crust or something like that. So we're gonna get into the lift and go down and see it. Spoiler alert, here it is, skip. So the sign turns on and says lift in operation, and you start feeling the sensation of going underground. And you're like, we going underground? No, you're not going underground. It's not a real lift. It's well done. It is. It's very well done. Because when I came out of the lift, it's not a lift. When I came out of that room that looked like a lift into behind the room that looked like a lift, I was like, you know what? That was pretty good. I can't 100% tell you if we are literally the other side of a door or we are 100 foot underground. I don't actually know. And Sarah said, well, I know. Turn around. I turned around. There's a fire door with daylight coming through. So yeah, that answered the question. I haven't got to the spoiler still. All right, so keep on listening if you've just skipped to this point. So you go through again and you take your seats. You've got this big dinosaur, alien looking egg in the center, and you go and sit around the edge and strap yourselves in. And these are rows of 10, something like that. And we're all speculating what's going to happen. You can see above the chairs at the back, there's chains. So you're thinking, okay, we're going to go up and down, or we're going to drop. The floor's going to go and we're going to drop. Spoiler alert, we were completely right. So you drop about 20 foot, something like that. And it was really cool because basically the egg hatched and it all goes dark, and then you drop and you're like, what is going on? Then the lights turn on again, and more creepy things are happening, and you can hear this little alien going all around you, like 4D sounds all around your chairs. And you start going back up again. You're like, oh, let's get out of here. That was scary. We're kind of taking the mick out of it. And all of a sudden, spoiler alert, all of a sudden you get a poke in your back. Everybody in their chair gets that. And everyone screamed, jumped. I jumped. You can't jump because you've got a bar on you. But you know what I mean? You put yourself. And as you continue going up, you've got these things hitting against your legs, like claws. Well, me and Sarah had shorts on, and she hated it. So did I. Absolutely hated this bit. And then you get to the top, and they say, "Quick, evacuate, evacuate!" And you go out, and that's it. And I was like, "What was that ride? That just wasted 45 minutes for what? A poke in the back." So if you've got a lot of time to kill and you want to experience it, then definitely go and experience it. But if you're not that fast about it, don't do it. Go on Smiler for a second time, because that's what I wanted to do, and it turned out we didn't have enough time because that was such a waste of time. And then this next segment, whatever, was also very time consuming. So we finally got off of Nemesis Sub Terra and went, right, let's go to the Rollercoaster Restaurant. It's dead in there now. It's like 2:00. We were starving. This bit is like unintentionally hilarious. So you sit at your table, and instead of a waiter, your food flies down a literal roller coaster track above your head. Sounds amazing, right? Sounds like it's a really cool idea because it's so on brand as you're in Alton Towers. It only makes sense, doesn't it, that your food arrives on a bloody roller coaster. Reality was chaos. The tins that are strapped into this roller coaster little design thing, they kept on getting stuck. And this poor waiter, he had to keep getting this large giant stick and kept poking and hitting the food along. So it would finally go to and you're thinking, like, it was a cool idea, but just pick it up and bring it over to the table. It's like, secondhand embarrassment. It's like, oh, mate. Oh, I hate that you have to do that. I hate it. I hate that you have to manually push it along with that long pole, which is fully designed to push food along a train track thing. What is the point in it? What is the point? Took freaking ages to get the food. Like 25, 30 minutes, even though it was like dead in there. But what I will say is the food was phenomenal. It was so good. Yeah, we needed it, but we needed it quicker and by foot, not on the roller coaster. But yeah, I'd go again for the entertainment. I wouldn't. It wasn't worth that. But now, after food, which took ages, we had to get to another part of the park, which we hadn't been to yet. And we wanted to just chill now. And we knew that time was pushing on because it closed at 4. Let me just quickly talk about the opening and closing times. It opens at 10 a.m. and closes at 4 p.m. Why? If there was like a lot of people there today and there was a lot of queues, we would have had to sacrifice going on like a lot of things. We would have gone we would have gone on 2 or 3 rides, and I don't understand why it shuts so early and opens so late. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out one day. But we needed something chill now. We just ate. We have done all of the rides we wanted to do. We're absolutely loving life, but we are exhausted now. We just ate. So where do we go? We go to the rapids. Yeah, class. It was the Congo Rapids, I think they're called. Yeah, it was just it was great. It's actually a lot quicker than I remembered it being. Of course, the one person saying to Sarah, "No, come on, this like you're not gonna get wet." Like no one's wet on that. You can see the other people. Because Sarah was like, I'm pretty cold. Like I don't fancy it if I'm going to get wet. It's pointless. Yeah. He got absolutely soaked. The one person that got splashed was him. Yeah, that was hilarious. But that set us up very nicely for the grand finale, which was right next door. The Wicker Man. And yeah, last row of the day. So we queued up, and then you're ready to go onto the actual rail part, but you're in this big room, and there's a white sheet and a projector on the sheet, and it's the Wicker Man, and he's talking to you, and I don't have a clue what he said because I wasn't really listening. But then he turns into fire, and it was really cool. The production of it was class. And then it's a runaway train again, but it's probably the best runaway train. It's so fast. And I actually had a water bottle in my hoodie pocket. And at the end, I got off, I checked the seat, and the water bottle wasn't there. It shot straight out at some point. So if that hit someone in the head, sorry about that. But I lost a water bottle. So who's the real loser? So we had a fantastic day. We'd done everything we wanted to do. The Wicker Man was actually really good. Yeah, we're now walking back to the car, absolutely exhausted, knowing I've now got to drive 3 hours home. Like, how am I going to do this? Yeah, felt ruined. Our voices hurt, but we were smiling like idiots. But honestly, it was so good. So what I would say is, if you were planning to go to Alton Towers, definitely go midweek when it's not on a half term or any type of holiday. It's so worth just trying to get that day booked off of work, like booking a day for holiday or something at work. Because if you go on a weekend, I understand it's different for everyone, but if you go on a weekend, you're going to waste so much of your time and so much of your day, especially if you've got a big drive there. Like we had 3 hours. If we drove 3 hours there and then we weren't able to go on the Smiler, it would have been very, very frustrating. A little closing question, if you're still listening, so you can put it in the comments or something. What is your favourite UK roller coaster, and what ride made you cry, throw up, sweat, say never again? Yeah, drop me a message. I want to hear your best and worst theme park stories, and maybe if we get a few of them, I could read them out on the next pod or a future podcast. Yeah, that's all for me now, really, because it's now almost midnight, and I've trauma dumped being poked in the back by a fake alien. I can go to sleep peacefully now. Now, all jokes aside, I had a great day today. Hope that you've enjoyed this podcast. Until next time, I'll see you after bedtime. Also, do you think I should keep that catchphrase, I'll see you after bedtime? Or does it come across a bit creepy? Because when I first said it, I really liked it. Now, when I say it, I feel like it's coming across in a strange way. But if it's not, I'm going to keep it. See you after bedtime. Or see you next time. See you after bedtime.